and welcome back to the Forest Avenue Sports Vine. As was promised, we are talking pro football, and really, there's no there's no debate on what the biggest game is this week. It's definitely Cowboys Patriots. So many storylines in this game, and I'm not even going to begin talking about them. I'm going to leave that up to you guys, the panel.
Oh, thanks.
No problem.
I'm still not sold on the Cowboys. The Patriots, I think, are the best team in the NFL right now. They've just been playing outrageously. Randy Moss leads the league in touchdowns and receiving yards. He's just been the breakout player of the year by far, and I think that with him and Tom Brady, they're not going to be stopped, I don't even know, all year.
You had the golden boy, Tom Brady, without any real receivers for all those years. Now you give him Randy Moss, who seems like he's shaped up his image in that. Maybe Bill Belichick has some incriminating video on him or something. I'm not sure. But the Patriots are playing amazing, and they're going to go up against the best team in the NFC, and that is debatable in October as well. And we always say potential Super Bowl matchups. Week 1 was the Bears versus Chargers. I'm sure there'll be another one in December. But you had the Patriots who were scoring, I believe their average margin of victories around 20-something. They're putting up 35 points a game. This team is ready to start the playoffs now. They still have another 10 games still to play. Injuries could pile up, but right now they are the favorite. But I wouldn't count out the Colts as being the best in the AFC, too.
That's true. Nobody talks about the Indianapolis Colts.
They are the champions.
The world champions. No one says
proven otherwise.
Well, I don't think there's any doubt that the Patriots are the most dominant team and have been for 5, 6, even 7 years. However, best team, that's what the game is going to decide. And I'm not going to count the Cowboys out. The way they're playing now, I mean, they showed that they can screw up a lot, and now that they've learned how to kick field goals clutch at the end of a game, they can win. There's no reason to count them out. And personally, I think between Randy Moss and Terrell Owens, I mean, I'm hardly even going to be watching the actual football. It's going to be more like what kind of a show these guys are putting on. Wow. So I think it's going to be a great matchup, and I'm not going to count the Cowboys out.
Yeah, but
the best team is picked in the first weekend of February, not the first weekend or second weekend of October.
But it depends on how they all put it together.
The best quarterback is on the Patriots. The best wide receiver is on the Patriots. The better defense, clearly, the Patriots.
So if the Cowboys win, do you call it an upset?
No, it's not an upset.
Well, then how do you know which team's the best?
I don't really think there's upsets in the NFL.
There's
nice.
Yeah, everyone's
really,
on
that's what the
an
game's
even
about.
playing field in the NFL until you get to the playoffs, until you get to where the games actually mean something. Cowboys can lose, and they could still technically be 2 games in first place. A game right now really doesn't matter. It's just their measuring stick. Patriots don't have to measure themselves against anybody. Except the Colts, I would say.
Yes.
They've already proven themselves against the great Chargers earlier, but they don't have to prove themselves against any NFC team because so far the NFC has been inferior for the past 3-4 years.
Okay, then bold prediction. Cowboys will tie the game up, so they'll go into overtime. Then the Patriots will win until the next time the teams play when the Cowboys will win.
Yeah, that will be next year because they're not.
It's not gonna unless it's the Super Bowl.
Unless it is the Super Bowl.
Well, look at the Cowboys. Okay, the Cowboys turned the ball over 6 times, like you said. That was against the Bills. If they turn the ball over 6 times against the Patriots, they will lose 50-0.
Well, don't you think they've got their act together? Every team goes through a rough patch. Can't you just assume that they've
constitutes more than one game?
Exactly.
Well, it was more than one quarter. I mean, it was ugly.
Game. It's a rough
ugly.
All right, we talked a lot about the Cowboys and their little semi-meltdown, even though they won last week. These Patriots, this is a team that very well could go 16-0 this season conceivably, they're the best shot at an undefeated team in the last 10 years. What do you think their chances are of being only the second team of all time to go through a season undefeated?
It's so hard to go undefeated in an NFL. They got to play the Colts still. They got to play all the AFC teams, which are much better than the NFC teams that they'll play. This Cowboys game is probably one of the biggest games that they'll have. It's just too hard in today's game with the free agents and everything. I don't think it's possible. I don't think it's going to happen for a long time.
Being what everyone's saying is the best team in the AFC are going to get everybody coming at you, pulling out all the tricks. They still face the Jets. Mangini and Belichick don't like each other. They face the Steelers, who nobody talks about. They are having a great year so far in Pittsburgh. They still face the Colts, and they face the Dolphins December 23rd, second to last game. If the Patriots go in there at 14-0, I wouldn't discredit the Dolphins. Could be winless at that point, too, and just that would be an upset right there. If the Dolphins are 0-14 and the Patriots are 14-0, that would be your upset, not against two upper echelon. But they face a lot of good teams. They still face the Ravens. So they're going to be tested. And if they go undefeated, that will be very impressive. But it's still way too early, and I would not say they could go undefeated.
I don't think they can go undefeated. We just named their entire schedule with potential upsets. So I'm going to say no.
I think the Colts could overtake this team. I don't think they're going to get that far into the season without being undefeated, personally.
I'm excited for that game. That's going to be one of the best games played in the last couple of years.
It's going to be way better than this garbage pail game they got coming up this Sunday. All right, now we move on to a more serious note in the NFL, and that was Trent Green had a little bit of a chop block earlier this week, and while laying on the ground, unconscious with a concussion, he was taunted overhead. And then after the game, in the press conference, the player he blocked continued to taunt Trent Green before truly realizing what happened. How classless was this, and how ridiculous is it that he wasn't fined?
First of all, can you taunt an unconscious person?
Yeah.
Just asking.
I have.
And, I mean, the lineman didn't get fined for a reason because you could say it was a dirty hit, but then you got a little guy going up against a big guy. I mean, I think it's got blown out of proportion. I don't think it's really part of the game. I don't think it should be a part of the game. And I don't think there should really be this much attention given to the issue anyway.
I don't really think that he was taunting him. He was more of just yelling at him for the cheap block. But I can understand. It's the heat of the moment in the game. It was a dirty block, a dirty play. He doesn't know that he's unconscious lying there. I mean, it's going to be okay if he yells at him. But after the game, he should have apologized.
He did. Eventually he did apologize, but not right away. Yeah. It took a few hours.
Yeah.
And I think if you look at the videotape, Trent Green was just trying to duck and hide. It looked like, if you want to say, it also kind of looked like the guy ducks behind you and you push him over. But it looked like a dirty hit, and the way he landed, that's the worst part. He almost landed on his neck. He could have been seriously injured too, and I think that's what he was upset. He wasn't, like you said, taunting. I think he was just upset. But we're seeing way too many people, I don't know, taunting and that stuff. I think the NFL needs to just play the game, let your actions speak for them, don't keep talking to other people.
That's true. All right, we do. That's how you wrap up a Brent conversation. All right, we have to take a very short break, and when we come back, we'll be talking college football here on the Forest Avenue Sports Vine.